Game time, Brian. Hey Mark, is that the guy coming on? Hey Mark, you can bring DFW and the Dallas Fort Worth area, and it won't matter. You haven't done dick in 30 years. The Pet Rock and the Chia Pet were more famous than Dallas in the last 25 years. Who are you kidding? The Chia Pet is more famous than the Cowboys in the last 30 years. The Chia Pet.
Well, good morning, everybody. Game time, Brian, otherwise known as the mailman, bringing you content today. Yes, we are. We are bringing you info and a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of excitement. One of our strongest position groups on the team, that is our defensive backfield, safeties included. We have a glutton of talent. People on the outside who want to use injury to Stephon Diggs or Trevon Diggs. Um, he's running. He looks real good. Okay, everybody forgets. They're just assuming he's going to have a year that's mediocre. You don't know Trevon Diggs then, and that's fine. That's good. We hope that you underestimate a Trayvon. He is flying around now. They're moving him in slowly into the team period. Um, I'm thinking this is the best thing they could possibly do. But good. I hope people. Drew, I hope you think he ain't ready. And we all hope that he doesn't get, re-injured again. Usually when you get these ACLs, you're better than you were previous because we all have a little something going on. Sometimes ACLs, especially football players, get used and abused. They get frayed. They're not as strong. Well, this is, you get a new ACL, right? So it'll be interesting to see exactly what is going on with them. But I wanted to break down our defensive back room. Outside of Diggs, Bland, and Jordan Lewis, we have a lot of questions. There's 4 guys that are guaranteed to be on this team. That's Diggs, Bland, Lewis, and the rookie Kalen Carson, who's playing with the ones. With Diggs being out, Kalen Carson looks to be what we had hoped. It's early, people. I get it. But then we have a glutton of other names. This is where I think the best of the rest, and I think this man's going to make the team, is Josh Butler. Josh Butler, number 31, has been flying around the football. I love Josh Butler. After that, we got last year's Eric Scott Jr., who I would like to flip. I will be on the phone with Dan Quinn sooner rather than later trying to get John Ridgeway back. And if he don't want to do it, then he don't want to do it. But I don't know about Eric Scott Jr. He's not Mike Zimmer's guy. But again, Mike Zimmer's only here for 1 year, so we don't really know. But that's an option. And then we get into Josh DeBerry, Keeman Hall. These are guys like practice squad type guys. Nashawn Wright. Okay, it's time to deliver. Nashawn Wright's had a good camp, but we've seen this before. Nashawn Wright, so it'll be interesting, if we keep. I think right now the top 5 are Diggs, Bland, Lewis, Carson, Butler. That's 5. And then probably Eric Scott Jr., 6, Nashawn Wright, 7. I would try and flip Eric Scott. I've been saying it. They need to do it. Now, looking at the safeties, I'm very curious to see because I'm hearing Israel Mukuamu is not looking great. He's hot and cold. He's hot and cold. I'm curious to see about Marquise Bell, who we had playing linebacker last year. Very curious to see about him because and what they think. We got Wanye Thomas, obviously, who's on this team. Sheldrick Redwine, I think he's a practice squad guy. And then we got our two rookies, Imani Wilson and Julius Wood. How good are both of them? Are they both going to make the team? Are we going to try and get them on the practice squad? They're both not high draft picks, but when they came in, they're like, wow, okay, we like what we got. But we'll see. We'll see how that works out because obviously we got Wilson. You know what I mean? We got Donovan Wilson, who curious to see. He's another guy. There's two guys on this team who have enough talent to trade. Donovan Wilson, I don't know what Mike Zimmer thinks of him. He's a starter. I would think he's going to be on this team. He's like a linebacker playing safety in the box. And Eric Scott Jr. But if we could address some other needs, those are the guys. Depending if Wanye Thomas is that guy, you may be able to slide him where Donovan Wilson is. He'd be cheaper, probably relatively similar player, not as physical as Donovan, but more rangy than Donovan is. Something to think about, but our defensive back room is deep and very curious. But I wanted to listen to Trevon Diggs. He took an interview. I want everybody to hear for themselves exactly what's going through his mind and what he's doing in training camp. So let's listen in.
Just talk about your level of excitement working your way back the way you did to get to this point.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I haven't played football in a long time, so just being able to be out here, just, practicing with them, seeing everything, it's been a blessing. I can't be more thankful enough.
What was the hardest part of being away?
The hardest part of being away, just, you have that family, feel when you come to practice and you come to work every day. So me not being able to, be there with the guys, I feel like, that was the hardest part. Look at those guys like my brothers. So, just being away from them, being away from the team, just not being able to go to war with my brothers, I feel like that was the hardest part.
What was the longest you'd ever been away from football before this?
This?
Yeah.
This was.
Anything before that would,
No.
a week, a year? Yeah.
No, I got hurt in college, but, that's a little different.
What do you feel might be has it grown your appreciation of what you do and how well you can do it?
Yeah, of course. You can't take this game for granted. Anything could happen. You don't know how valuable it is until it's taken away from you. So, I'm just being thankful for that.
Kind of see you on the sidelines there, just coaching up guys while you're still working your way back. When did you kind of take on that role of that leadership and everything that you're doing now?
Just being here, I feel like I think I'm the oldest person in my room now. So, I have to become that and, bring on the guys. It's always good to help others, help the younger, They teach me some stuff too, just giving them all the game that I can to help them be successful.
Deron forming into his own and you guys being able to be a duo, how excited are you to get on the field with him?
Super excited to get on the field with him. I've been seeing him ever since he came here, been doing it since, he first stepped foot on the Cowboys. So I'm super happy to be here.
It'll be curious to see after this year what they do with Deron Bland. Very curious. I think a lot was going to have to do with Dak Prescott's deal. I think that'll be the key. I don't know if they can keep Bland or Diggs. We'll have to see because they love Kalen Carson, but we'll have to see him. Jordan Lewis isn't long-term for this team. He signed a 2-year deal. So something to think about for the future, but it's a good problem to have. Not sure what they're going to do with Deron Bland. It's easier to keep guys like Ferguson, like paying a tight end is a lot easier to do than to pay a top flight, a corner. We'll see what Deron Bland does this year. Yeah, I think the players ranked him 31 out of the top 100 players in the NFL. It's probably elevated from his 6 pick sixes last year, set a NFL record. Yet he gets no love, especially around here in Eagleville, because they're haters and they don't want to give him any credit. It's always, oh, well, he can't do this. It's like, what can you do? I had Philly 500 on there. He was the same way. Didn't give him much credit. Okay. Again, I don't know. If Dak's here, then Bland's probably not here. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. But we'll see. We shall see.
Here, super happy to be able to play with him, and you know, we get some balls together.
How impressed were you with what he was able to do after you went out that last year and just picking up, right in Game 3 and going from there and what he did?
I wasn't surprised. You know, I expect him to have a big year. His rookie year, he did really good, and you know, you only could build on that. So, you know, I expected him to do really good that year.
Are you full? I'm just good.
You expected 6 pick sixes out of him? It's a league record.
Yeah.
High expectations.
Yeah, he the best defensive back there is out there for sure.
Better than you?
1A, 1B.
Okay.
How have you been able to lean on guys like Jordan Lewis as far as like the mental aspect of coming back from an injury like this to kind of help you get top form as quickly as possible?
Yeah, he helped me out a lot. He went on the same journey that I went on. Just staying into it, you know, staying positive, you know, saying your prayers and just being thankful. You know, it got me through it a lot. And, you know, it went by. People say it go by fast, but this was kind of slow. But I'm happy it's here now.
You mentioned that you're learning stuff from the younger guys as well. We talked to DeMarvion Overshown, and he said that there was kind of like the torn ACL group that you guys were kind of bouncing notes off each other.
Yeah.
They tore theirs before yours. Can you talk about just how that group has kind of helped each other rehab and get to this point?
Yeah, you know, you need somebody to lean on. It's tough, you know. Like with Sam, this just happened to him. Sorry that it happened to him, but, you know, I'm going to be on him, you know, be with him, talking to him every day, because, you know, it is tough. You know, you need somebody there for you, for sure. And I feel like, you know, we were there for each other. So, you know, I'm going to pay it back to him, and I'm going to be there for him.
Just getting back to your health and rehab for a minute. When were you able to start full speed, and are you able to do everything now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so when will you get on the field? I guess I'm saying. I know you clear, but you ever get to practice. When do you think you're going to?
I feel like when I'm comfortable.
Okay.
I can do everything right now, but, you know, just better safe than sorry. You know,
Yes.
we don't win football games right now. So.
Take your time.
What's your relationship been like with Micah Parsons? Obviously, we've seen you guys, how close you guys have been. We even seen it out here. Just how's it grown, and what's the relationship like?
That's my brother. You know, we got a great relationship. You know, our families know each other. We really close. So, you know, I'm always pushing him. You know, if I see him doing something he's not supposed to, or he see I'm doing something I'm not supposed to, whether that's eating something we're not supposed to, you know, we always get on each other. So I'm very appreciative of our relationship.
Trevon, I know you've probably
using you. He's been bringing you into some of the meetings that he's having with like Zimmer in the morning.
Yeah.
What have those moments been like, and what do you feel like you've taken from that opportunity?
It's been helpful. You know, one day he just randomly saw me and was like, come to the meeting with me. I was like, all right. So I went in there, and, you know, I'm learning a lot, and I learned the playbook fast just by going in there. So that's one of the things, you know, him being there and being helpful towards, you know, my career, me being helpful towards his career, you know, it pays off.
Can learning it through his eyes maybe help you as a defensive back, just understanding what he's looking for?
Yeah, 100%. I'm learning the blitz packages and how the blitzes can, you know, affect the throws and, you know, where the ball is trying to go to. So it's going to help me out a lot. You know, I'm excited that I walked into that meeting room. I learned a few new tricks.
Trevon, there was a list that recently came out, and you probably trying
what
not
it
to pay
said.
attention.
You know what I said.
What did it say? What did it say?
It said that you aren't one of the top 10 cornerbacks in the league. Does that motivate you, and how eager are you to prove that you are? Again.
I feel like I'm in a league of my own. There's nobody that can do what I do. There's nobody that can do what Bland does. I feel like we're in a league of our own, and that's that. We don't care about no list. Our work gonna show on the field. You can pull up another DB on that list that did anything that we did. Show me.
You and
Show
Stefan
me,
didn't get that
baby.
opportunity last year. Have y'all talked about just kind of like by happenstance, it's on the schedule again this year?
One more time?
You and Stefan didn't get that opportunity to line up against each other last year, but just by happenstance, that game's on the schedule this year too. So have y'all talked about that at all?
Of course. Yeah, of course. It's going to be a fun one. They got a great team. We got a better team, so it'll be fun.
Jordan called you a genius when it comes to this stuff.
Damn. Shots fired. He's signed.
What is
Jordan Love?
Jordan Lewis. He called you a genius when it's about breaking stuff down and knowing what's coming. Where does that come from? What's the work that you put in to study the game and know the game and not just rely on, obviously, the athletic ability?
I feel like my offensive side helped me understand, offensive concepts and offensive plays, and, I've been using that to my advantage, being able to break on certain things, knowing where the ball is going. I feel like that helped me a lot, and then coming into the NFL, just taking that and taking the stuff Al taught me, putting it together, and to create turnovers.
They were
last one here, guys.
The same thing with you talking about your football IQ. People say that about Micah too. How important is it when you have two young pillars on the defense who both see the game the way you and Micah do? How does that help the rest of the defense, and how much pride do you take in that?
It helps the defense a lot because, he's got the guys up front, and, I got the guys in the back end, and it's a team effort. So, you got this person on the front line, this guy in the back line, and we got Kendricks in the middle who's really, really smart, knows the defense like the back of his hand. So, I feel like we're going to have a really good defense this year. Zim is a genius.
Thank you, Trevon.
Thank you.
Zim's a genius.
Royce, how's first training camp?
Well, there you go. Zim is a genius. These players are loving themselves some Mike Zimmer. And that, you know what? I might just I'll do a different video of Mike Zimmer after this one. But yeah, it was funny how he said that we're a better team. That's a lofty statement. Again, I've never seen so much disrespect. I am not happy that the team does everything slow. They don't add people. I get it. It's probably the right move not to dip in free agency as much as some of these other teams. Most of the time, free agency does not work out for you. You overpay and they underdeliver. That being said, I think the good teams, the good front offices like the Eagles, they may not draft the best. That's not a slam. I'm not talking first round either. I'm talking late round pick. They may not have the best draft, but they will address the needs that they need on the fly. I have no doubt that Howie, if there's an injury, he'll replace somebody. If somebody's not getting the job done, they're going to be scouring. Like if their if the Eagles offensive line, their linebacking situation is not what they hoped, they'll make a move. Vic's going to do what Vic's going to do. He's going to see what they got. That's why I like guys like Vic Fangio and obviously Mike Zimmer. They've seen it all. These players love Mike Zimmer. I'm going to do a video about Micah Parsons and Mike Zimmer after this one. I'll have it up later this afternoon. But yes, very, very... I'm telling you, I told everybody our defense is going to be better this year than it was last year. I know that's a weird thing to say because we lost who? Hankins? Dorrance Armstrong? Okay. We got some young guys that are dogs. One being Marshawn Nealand. We'll see what these two new guys can do. They may both not make the team. There may be a defensive end. There could be trades. I think Dallas understands what's going on. We're all holding our breath. I expect CeeDee Lamb in here within a week. I would expect him to be in here. I said 1 to 2 weeks. So we're not even a week into full practice yet. So I expect him soon. Dak Prescott, I don't really feel like doing a video on Dak. I didn't see his latest interview. I don't think it's up, but hearing some quotes, I'm really tired of what's coming out of his mouth at times. All he has to say is, we're working on a deal. I hope it gets done. You have these reporters that are constantly asking him questions and him saying, well, sure, it's a possibility. Sure, it's a possibility that I'm not going to be in a Cowboy uniform. All of a sudden now he wants to negotiating in media, just like the Joneses. He's no better than the Joneses, in my opinion, when he does this stuff. Just tell everybody, hey, listen, I'm not taking any more comments on the contract negotiations. We all know that we are negotiating. Hopefully a deal gets done. Boom, done, end of story. That's all he needs to say. So we'll see. We will see exactly, what he's, and we're going to know. I mean, again, we're going to know. I think he's in store for a huge season on the par of last year. He had 36 touchdowns. I think Dak is something to prove. Again, guys like Drew who want to bust on Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks has looked real good. Brandon Cooks has come on towards the end of the year. You're not close to the situation. You just reading headlines, and that's fine. But when I say something that's down the street here, what's going on at NovaCare, believe me, I'm not reporting falsehoods. That's what's coming out of there. And what's coming out of the camp is, listen, is Brandon Cooks Devontae Smith? Hell no. Eagles have 2 number 1 wide receivers. After that, it's a little, it like drops off big time. John Ross is probably not going to make the Eagles. That's just a fact. Unless he's going to do something on special teams, maybe. I don't know. When I'm hearing Eagles are not going to bring in, keep John Ross. They like Paris Campbell better. And Paris Campbell is not as good as Brandon Cooks. Not in this lifetime or any. I'm just being honest. It's not my opinion. It's fact. But again, we could have this debate back and forth. It's fact in my head, by the way. But anyway, that's it. That's it for me. I figured that I'll do at least one more video today. I am going live tonight with The Cody Show Sports. He wanted to do a live stream. He's an up-and-coming YouTuber, and I'm going to help him out. So make sure you check us out live tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll lead into Mark's live stream at 9. We won't go on for 2 hours. Maybe we'll do 45 minutes to an hour or so. It is my son's birthday, so I got the ribs in the smoker, made a couple things to go with it. It's going to be a fun, relaxing day. So with that being said, how about them Cowboys? Yeah! Late.
You know what? I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving!